What is up, everybody? I left this, well, first of all, it's training Tuesday, and I'm in charge today, and I'm doing it a little bit earlier, because tonight's crazy. I mean, you all know, you all have kids, right? Or most of you do, at home, and they're full of activities in the evenings. So anyway, if you're watching this live, comment below, give me a hey, yeah, or whatever. I didn't title this yet because I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I wasn't sure what to call it other than like the quote that I'm going to quote here in a second. But we'll just kind of see how it goes. So the team and I, which if you don't know who my team is, it's me and Kira and Kara, which is super confusing, right? But they are awesome. We were talking yesterday in our team meeting about, well, we were talking about lots of different things, but ultimately what came up was talking to clients that we have specifically about them choosing their reaction, okay? And not allowing stimuli to choose their reaction for them. Does that make sense? So for example, okay, let's say last night was Halloween, okay? Most of us probably overate, myself included. We ate lots of yummy food. Maybe we had some treats out of the candy bucket, like all the stuff that goes with Halloween, right? We experienced Halloween to its fullest. So a lot of us, when we woke up this morning and we weighed, maybe we were up a pound or two, right? That's the stimulus, is weighing in and getting the feedback, right? What you choose to do with that feedback, though, is where your power lies, right? So Viktor Frankl, if you've read the Man's Search for Meaning book, he says between stimulus and response, there's a gap. And within that gap lies your power, because you can choose how to respond, right? So essentially, and another quote he says is, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances and to choose one's own way. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, okay? So let's say it's Halloween, you wake up, you're up a pound. Now, you can choose to be mad. You can choose to be upset. You can choose to throw the scale away. You can choose to never weigh again, right? None of those are, like, I would argue, are healthy responses, right? A healthy response would be like, I mean, of course I am, right? Like, of course I am. Why am I surprised? I would be shocked if I was down a pound after I ate 7 sloppy joes and a whole bag of chips or whatever, right? Like, you have to pick. You choose how you respond is essentially what we're talking about, okay? And another thing that we talked about was sometimes we are so afraid of how we are going to react. Instead of giving us the power to choose how to react, we immediately assume that we're going to react negatively to a certain stimulus, and so we just remove the stimulus altogether, because we don't want to feel that feeling. We want to avoid it, and we don't know how we're going to react, so let's just eliminate it altogether, right? So, like, for instance, we have a lot of people come into the program, or people that I talk to, just like day-to-day conversations, where they refuse to weigh, they refuse to take pictures, they refuse to do all these things because they don't want to have the negative emotions associated with all of those things in whatever realm they feel them. Does that make sense? So, like, we have our people take progress photos, generally, okay? That is an uncomfortable situation. And so some people don't want to be uncomfortable, and so they just say, oh, I'm just not going to do that. However, 6 months down the road, when they're suddenly down 35 pounds, most of them regret the fact that they didn't take them, because they have no idea how visually they've changed, even though they can see the results on the scale, okay? On the same token, some people would prefer to take progress pictures and not weigh, because the weight fluctuates too much. It's too crazy. I don't want to deal with it. It's too much, like, it's too overwhelming, stresses me out, blah, 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 right? It's okay to feel those emotions. It's not okay to just avoid them, right? It's like we throw ourselves into this avoidance instead of feeling the emotions that we're feeling, okay? And processing them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of, I'm not trying to, but like, it's a childish way to act. It's a childish way to act. We're just going to avoid it. We're going to avoid it so that we don't even have to deal with it, right? We're going to avoid that person and not talk to them because it's just easier than trying to figure out, like, I'll use an example in a second. But anyway, what I'm saying is some people won't weigh. They'll refuse to weigh. And my rule is if you don't weigh, then you don't weigh at all. Like, you cannot weigh. If you don't weigh, and like when someone is my client, they either weigh every day or they don't weigh at all. That's it. Or most days. I should say most days, because you might miss a day here or there. But it's got to be enough that we can see a trend, or it's not at all. And we're just not even going to use it as a metric, and we're going to forget it. The problem with that is I've had many a client say, okay, I choose to not weigh it up. They hide the scale away. They don't even focus on it. Then suddenly they look at their pictures and they're down like an immense amount of weight, clearly, right? And then they're mad because they have no idea how much weight they've lost, because they can't weigh now. They might be upset because they thought they would be down like 1 million pounds, but they're only down 500,000. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, all this to say, if you're avoiding something because it's a negative thing, or you're afraid of the consequence of that thing, right? So like, you're avoiding the scale because you don't want to feel sad when you stand on it ever, right? And so you'll just not do it at all, okay? First of all, you're giving the scale too much power. The scale doesn't care. The scale doesn't care what you weigh. The scale is just giving you data. That's it, right? Like, that's all it is. It's displaying the temperature outside. Does the thermometer care that it's 72 or 97 or 15 degrees? No, the thermometer doesn't care. It's doing its job. It's telling you the data, right? You choose to respond. Some people, let's use the thermometer as an example, okay? We attach so much emotion to the scale, okay? What if we just treated the scale like we do thermometers, okay? The scale is only giving us data. You stand on a scale, it tells you weigh 150 pounds. You choose whether that's good or bad. For some people, that's really good. For some people, that's really bad, right? Okay. You look at the thermometer, if it's 72 degrees outside, most people are elated, okay? If it's 98, some people are excited. If it's 15 degrees, some people are excited, some people are mad, right? But like, the thermometer doesn't care. It's just telling you what it is, right? Scale's the same way. We choose how we react to the scale. The scale's just giving you data. You have the power. It does not, okay? The thermometer does not control the weather. The scale doesn't control your weight. Good comparison? I thought it was. Anyway, what I'm saying is sometimes we just won't even, like, very few people are like, I'm just not even gonna look at the thermometer. I don't even want to know what the temperature is outside. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm fine. It's too much. Like, what if it's only 6 degrees? I can't. Nobody does that. Most people will laugh at that, right? But instead you're like, oh, I'm not gonna stand on the scale. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what I am. But it doesn't really matter. It's just a data point. And then you choose how you react. You can be mad, you can be sad, you can be motivated, or you can just move on with your day, right? But like, you have the power. The scale has no power. You have the power. You choose your response. That's it. Does that make sense? Progress pictures. You look at the pictures, you're either mad, you're either happy, you're upset, whatever. It doesn't matter. The camera just took the pictures. You can't be mad at the camera. The camera's just doing its job. It's just taking the pictures, right? Can you be mad that you allowed yourself to get to that point? Yes. Should that depress you or should that motivate you? It's up to you. You can pick. You can decide, right? But like, you have the power. You have the power. We need to stop avoiding things. Feeling negative feelings when half the time it's like we're the ones that control the negative feelings. And it's okay to have the negative feelings. It's okay, okay? It's not okay to react the way that we do sometimes. I mean, that's what you would tell your kid, right? It's okay for him to feel angry. It's okay for him to feel sad. It's not okay for him to kick mom and run around and throw things. That's not an okay reaction to anger. He needs to choose to respond differently. So do you. Okay? Hopefully this was helpful. But what I'm saying is stop avoiding things just because it may cause a negative emotion. Okay? A lot of people do it with money too. Like business-wise, like I used to coach gym owners. A lot of people wouldn't put in their numbers because they didn't want to know how much in debt they were. They didn't want to know how much profit they were losing every month. They didn't want to know that they weren't hitting their revenue goals, right? We all do it to one degree or another. It's just we as adults have to move past that in order to get where we want to go, because data gives us power. Data gives us certainty moving forward, right? So like if you are one of those people who you're afraid of the scale, or you're afraid to take pictures, or you are afraid to do measurements, or any of the things, right? And you have a health goal. One of the first things I may tell you as a coach is just weigh every day. You need to get over this, because the scale is only giving you a data point. You get to choose how you respond. And if you are allowing it to depress you, that's on you. That's on you. Cool? You have the power. Take it back. Hopefully this is valuable, and I will see you all next time.